Popoff here. Welcome back to another edition of Reliving Old Reviews as a Useless Tool of Confusion. This is our mini little Contrarians show where we look at some old period reviews and see if the reviewer got it right on these albums that were, so far the theme has been they're pretty heavy for the time, or they've become classics over time, or it's like there's not much to compare them to. What kind of words can you put together to describe these things? Today we're going to look at a period review from Melody Maker by RF, it looks like, RV. In Melody Maker, a period review of mountain climbing. Let's take a look and see what they have to say here. Mountain are causing a lot of very heavy vibrations in the States, and you can see why from this album. So he's realizing that this album is a heavy album for the time, and it is making some waves in the States, some heavy vibrations. They have filled the gap abdicated by located, abdicated. Yeah, this I'm reading for very small, not great scans. They have filled the gap abdicated by cream in the eyes and ears of America, which isn't surprising as Mountain bassist Felix Pappalardi produced Clapton, Baker, and Bruce. Indeed, Bruce and lyricist Pete Brown are credited with one of the tracks. Theme for an Imaginary Western. The group, Leslie West, guitar and vocals, Pappalardi, bass and vocals, Corky Lang, drums, and Steve Knight, organ, mellotron, and vocals, have certainly based their style on Cream, but whether they take it any further is questionable. They lack the fluency of the British trio, and it tends to sound forced, but all the same, it's hard stomping rock, and they're a good band. So yeah, getting the comparison right, this is like a post-Cream band. There is no Cream anymore. Cream fizzled pretty fast, quite a long time ago, basically. In terms of this, so Mountain Climbing is probably their heaviest, most appreciated album. There is also Leslie West Mountain, which is quite beloved, and Nantucket Sleigh Ride is quite beloved as well. But Mountain Climbing is definitely one of the better ones. So essentially getting it right and making those comparisons that we make here. To Cream, of course, they still have the keyboardist at this point. Corky, yeah, we've lost Leslie sadly a little while ago. At one point, he asked me to do his autobiography with him, and I kind of demurred because I'd interviewed him a few times and I didn't find him very eloquent or had much to say or very insightful kind of thing. So maybe that's an opportunity lost. It's definitely an opportunity lost because he's no longer with us. But yeah. Sadly never got around to doing that autobiography with Leslie. So there you go. Let us know what you think of this. Is Mountain, Mountain, I've always complained that Mountain and Cactus and all this American, I've got that whole theory about how, all the great heavy metal was essentially coming out of the UK at this time, right? With your big four, with your Led Zeppelin, Sabbath, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep kind of thing. And there wasn't really much coming out of America. But Mountain Climbing is about as close as we can get. You might pick a Cactus album, another Mountain album, Stooges, maybe Blue Cheer, but there's really nothing on the, in this period in America that is, knocking your socks off, that is modern, new kind of heavy metal. Even Mountain, as this reviewer has talked about, relates so much to Cream that it's almost like the British blues boom had a hangover into the States, and the British blues boom was hanging around until basically 1973, where we get Montrose, and soon we're going to get Kiss and Aerosmith, and Ted Nugent's going to go solo with a really modern album in 1975. Blue Oyster Cult is not particularly modern at this point, really either. So yeah, this is really one of the heavier albums we've got here, and this reviewer notices that with that heavy vibrations in the States comment here. So there you go, Mountain Climbing. Let us know if this reviewer got it right. This is another edition of Reliving Old Reviews is a Useless Tool of Confusion.